Good morning, Facebook. It's Scott Weddell here, reporting in with a daily live stream. And this one's going to hit home and this one's going to be awesome. But first and foremost, like usual, I just want to say a massive thank you to being here. Whether you're on the live or the replay, it'd be awesome to connect. If you've got any questions for me throughout this, whether you're on the replay or live, just let me know below. I'll get back to you, whether it's on the live stream or on the replay. So if you're here in the room, let me know who's here. Let me know where you're from. It'd be awesome to see where you're connecting in from. It'd be awesome to see who's here. Let me know in the comments if you're here, and we'll get started. So this is a big one. Like I see all the time, and to be honest, it's your ego that's going to be doing this, right? Because you're going to be trying to rush things, you're going to be trying to get further ahead, and you're going to be thinking you're further ahead than you actually are, and you're going to be looking outside of yourself and rationally thinking and listening to opinions of other people, then literally taking that in and then skipping steps. Now what I mean by this is, this could be the coach or the trainer that's trying to build a fancy website and taking 8 weeks to do it, when they haven't even figured out what they're selling properly yet. They haven't even figured out how to create leverage yet, and they're trying to set up a fancy website. Okay, this could be the coach or trainer that's trying to run paid advertising to some webinar or VSL or whatever, when they haven't even sold and mastered organic yet. This could be the coach or trainer this is the big one, that passes on responsibility to some Facebook ads guy, and they've not even built a habit of doing yet. They struggle to get out of their bed in the morning. They struggle to get motivated. They've not built a habit of doing. They've not built a habit of flow. And they're passing on responsibility to some Facebook ads guy. You know what I mean? This could be someone trying to hack or follow someone that's 20 steps ahead. Someone that's maybe got a business that's just like 8 figures or whatever, and you're looking at this person and going, yeah, okay, let's do that. And you've not even taken the first 3 steps yet, and you're trying to follow someone that's 20 steps ahead. What? Like, stop trying to skip steps, because the only thing that's going to be doing that is your ego. Your ego is going to be rationally thinking. You're going to be looking outside of yourself and judging yourself against other people, and then thinking, I need to do that, I need to do this. You don't need to do anything. You just got to take the next step, right? And the next step is literally basics. Get the basics in first, because do you know what? Most people don't even have an organic lead generation and marketing system in place. Most people haven't even figured out leverage. Most people are so stuck and so bought into the system that they're just getting up and they're just reacting. They're just reacting to what they know. They're not thinking outside the box. And then when you react to what you know, and then eventually you feel inspired to, oh man, this is not right. I know there's something not right. Then you look outside of yourself and you start following and copying people that are 20 steps ahead, and you miss the vital step you've got to take, which is putting in the basics. Because most people are not putting in the basics. And a really, really good analogy to use here is, if you are, let's say you're at X right now and you want to get to Z, right? That could be true. You're at X right now, you want to get to Z, right? So therefore, you have X resources inside yourself and outside yourself. So you're thinking X thoughts, you're feeling X feelings, you're taking X actions. And the resources outside of you are all X, because you're operating out of X. So what do you think is going to happen if you try and jump from X to Z without stepping to Y? Without dealing with what's going on in X first, and then getting to the bottom of why you're not taking the big steps and why you're going round in the same circles, and then, oh, I've got to go to Y first. Let's start thinking Y thoughts. Let's start feeling Y feelings. Let's start taking Y actions. Doesn't that make more sense than trying to jump from X to Z? Because at the end of the day, let's face it, someone that's operating out of Z is completely different than you. Is a completely different person. They're thinking different thoughts. They're feeling different feelings. They have different habits. They've built a habit of doing, right? So doesn't it make sense that you've got to step forward to why first? Why first? Doesn't that make sense? It's logical. And what most people are doing is they're not doing that. They're trying to jump from A to Z, and that's not even an exaggeration. They're trying to jump from A to Z, never mind X to Z, right? And what's happening is they're missing out this middle ground because they're so fixated on a vision where they're going, or to be honest, like, they're not even super clear on their vision, and it's just a confused vision they're projecting out there, right? And then that creates even more confusion because they're just like, oh, well, I want this and I want that and I want this and I want that, and you want a million different things, but then you then react to the environment outside of you, start judging yourself and try and take the big jump over to Z when you don't even know what Z is for you, and you've not even taken the step to B, right? Now, small basic steps equals progress, and letting your ego come in equals going around in circles and circles and circles and battling and anxiety and stress and all that shit, right? Now, it is one of the biggest things I see is coaches, trainers don't have their organic lead generation marketing system in place, and they're still trying to figure out how to create leverage, like I said. Okay, now, these are one of the two basic things that you've got to do. You've got to learn how to create leverage, because at the end of the day, if you're going to limit yourself to one-to-one, then you're only going to be able to do so many hours. Now, one-to-one has its place if that you want to do one-to-one, of course, but as your core leveraged model, you've got to figure out, how can I create more time leverage for myself? How can I create more time? How can I be more productive with my time? How can I be more outcome focused rather than activity focused? Because activity focused is operating below the line, and that is just basically getting up and just doing the same stuff over and over again. Activities, 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 sessions, 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 sessions. Whereas outcome focused is saying, how can I get my clients the same results with less time involved, less of my time involved. Okay? Then it's like, well, cool. Doesn't it logically make sense that if you're going to build a system, a funnel, or whatever, that you're going to have a basic understanding of your message, your market, and all that stuff, and you're going to understand what to actually speak out there into the marketplace? Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't it make sense that if you're going to build, put money into a funnel, because at the end of the day, you have to buy data to start with, which means like burning money, but you're buying data, right? Okay. Doesn't it make sense to actually put organic systems in place first before you try and do that? Because at the end of the day, doesn't it make sense to actually start selling your leveraged product, or selling your product or program or whatever it is first, before you start putting money into something without knowing and confident of where you're going to close? Doesn't it make sense? Isn't it logical? Then what most people are doing is they're missing this step. And to be honest, it's probably the first 3 steps they're missing. Okay? The first 3 steps they're missing, they're trying to take step 4, 5, 6 when they're not ready for that. They're trying to implement stuff they're genuinely not ready for. And they just have to take some simple steps. And that's what you need right now. You need simplicity. Isn't that what you want? Like something just easy and simple. Something easy and simple. Because at the end of the day, if you just try and implement some fancy, technical funnel that's just going to drive you absolutely insane to start with, you're going to put yourself off. You're going to put yourself off, and you're just going to say, screw it, man. Didn't work. And you're going to say, and screw this, man. I'm just going to go back to what I know. And you'll just go right back to what you know, and you'll miss the vital step. You'll be telling yourself a story that, shit doesn't work, man, and fucking, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, who am I, and all this shit going on. But really, all you've done is missed a step. But now you're telling yourself it doesn't work. Therefore, you're going to hold yourself in this fucking place that you're not going to allow yourself to take the actual steps you need to take to actually get to there. Okay? Because everything in life is one step away. We've got to take that step. Okay? We've got to take that step. It's like, you want to get to here, you don't want it to do this, because that's what happens when you try and take too big steps. It just happens like this. You want to just do this and take one step. Oh, that feels good. Another step. Oh, that feels... And then you're getting closer, and you start to perceive yourself getting closer. Okay? Now, seriously, guys, like, if you do this right, like, if you do it right and you take the first step first, which is learning how to create leverage for yourself and putting foundational marketing lead generation systems in place. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. If you do it right, your short-term game, which is that, will set you up for your long-term game. Because you'll start to, if you do it right and you do it right and actually learn with someone that actually can tell you the steps to take because they've screwed up before and then they've took the steps, right? You can actually set yourself up for your long-term game if you do it right. So if you strategically do it right, and instead of fucking trying to jump to Z, you jump to B, C, D, but when you're going through B, C, and D, and you're going through the alphabet, taking your steps, at each step you're putting something in place, which is helping you get to Z, which is building momentum towards Z, which when you get to Z, you're going to have all the things in place, all the assets in place. You're going to have the understanding in place. You're going to have the knowing in place. You're going to be like, this is a lot easier than I thought it was. Whereas if you try and jump from A to Z, you're going to freak out and it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, very hard. It's not going to be simple anymore. It's going to be complex. Okay, and that's not what you want because that's just putting you off. Now, the only thing you need, right, you don't need to actually know exactly the how, right? Because at the end of the day, you can learn that of someone, right? That's easy. That's the easier part. That's the simple part. The harder part, this is what makes it hard, is not a lot of people are consistent, not a lot of people have structure, and not a lot of people are disciplined. Not a lot of people. Honestly, people are not structured, people are not disciplined, people are not consistent. They might say they are, they might fucking bullshit themselves, but the truth is, if you were being honest with yourself and you looked in the mirror, you would call yourself out, right? Now, this is more of a reason, guys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's no judgment there. Like, I was that person too, and it's easy to fall back into that if you allow your monkey mind to take over, your ego to take over, right? But this is even more of a reason to do the basics first. Because do you know what the basics do, guys? The basics help you build a habit of doing. You cannot hide. You've got to show up. You've got to put time and effort and focus in. And you're building the habit. You're building your focus muscle. You're knocking off 3 goals every single day. You're moving forward 1% every single day. So what happens, what's the compound effect of that over 12 months? What's the compound effect that over 6 months? What's the compound effect over that 24 months? Imagine if you took your consistency, your structure and your discipline to the next level, you figured out how to create leverage and you can put foundational marketing and lead generation systems in place. And then you just done. Not like you, every day that you work, whether it's 5 days, 6 days or whatever it is you do, like whatever it is for you, every single day that you're working, and you just get up and you just put some focus in for 60, 90 minutes and you just do. Imagine how much you're going to learn about your market. Do. Imagine how much you're going to learn about sales. Do. Imagine how many good habits you're going to build. Imagine how many old habits you're going to let go of. Imagine the person you'll become when you just do. And then imagine when that overspills into your relationship, what's going to happen there? Imagine when that overspills into your health, what's that going to do there? Imagine when that overspills into your money, what's that going to do there? Imagine when that overspills into everywhere, what's it going to do? Because how you do everything, how you do one thing is how you do everything. I'm sure I've got the point across here, guys. Like, come on. Like, let me know if you're here. Does this make sense? Like, does this make sense? Like, please, give me feedback. Put some likes. Like, bloody comment below if you're here. Is this making sense? Are you resonating? Is this making sense to you? Because you know what? It's just from experience. It's from experience of having to dig myself out a 23 grand hole in 2015 because I was trying to take step 10 before I took in step 1. Right? And it's a pattern I see everyone running. And it's okay because what most people are doing is looking at people outside of themselves that are way further ahead and listening into what they're doing and modelling what they're doing and trying to keep up with them when it's just not possible. Got to take your steps. It's your path. It's your path. So you've got to learn the way. Your way. Not anyone else's way. Your way. Okay guys, I hope that made sense. I'm just going to grab a link because if you're a coach or trainer, this resonated with you, you're looking to create leverage. You are at that stage, you're looking to create leverage. You're interested in building the foundations in your marketing and your lead generation. You're looking to get the basics right first. I can help, and I'd love to see you in my free group, the Online Coaches Network for Purpose-Driven Coaches and Entrepreneurs. And I'm going to invite you over there right now when I get 2 minutes, once I've got the link. But I hope this, guys, if this resonated, let me know. If you're still here in the live stream, let me know if this resonated. Let me know if they've got any questions. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve you. Don't stay a silent witness. Interact. I don't bite. Bum, bum, bum. Let me see. Okay. Bum, bum. Well, I seen there's a comment down there. Haha, that didn't show up on my phone. What's going on, Facebook? I'll like it, so I've seen that. Thanks, Tanya, for commenting. Massively guilty of doing this. Yeah. And this is me talking from experience as well. I was guilty of doing it as well. And it's easy to fall back into it because the ego is the only thing that will allow you to drop back into that. Because you'll start saying, oh, I'm not further ahead. And then you start thinking you're further ahead. And then you start doing things and you realise that, shit, I don't really know what the fuck's going on here. And then you just massively flop and fall on your face and then cry yourself to sleep. Facebook group. Here. Right, I've just put that in the comments. I wonder why that didn't show up on my phone. That's annoying, because if people were commenting and I'm on my phone, I can't see it. Right, the lesson learned, I'll need to get my... I'll have this up behind me when I'm doing it, so I can see if there's comments coming through. Remember that, Scott. Right, okay, has there anyone got any questions while we're here? Like, while I'm about to finish? Obviously, if you're a coach or trainer, you're looking to learn how to create leverage and build your organic marketing foundation systems before you start taking all the steps that you're not ready for. Come into this group. I'd love to have you in there. I'd love to serve you at the highest level. I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to speak to you. I'd love to connect like humans. Like, this is the part that business is about, connecting with each other like human beings, right? Not hiding behind stuff. And that's what I'd love to do. And also, if this resonated with you and you're in that space and you really, really just want to figure out the simple basic steps, guys, I can help, right? I've got a program there. I've got 2 membership sites there. I've got done for you funnel templates. I've got done for you membership site templates. I've got everything you need, swipe files, email templates, you name it, it's all there. Just waiting in a system that you just follow step by step by step that works, okay? That works very, very well. It's a system that I used to dig myself out of that 23 grand hole and create a 6-figure coaching business because I didn't have the resources to do anything else. So I just dug myself out, figured it out. Okay, and it's really, really powerful. Right, guys, if there's no questions, I can't see anything come through. I'm going to head off and get some more stuff done because before my calls later, I've got group calls and calls later on. So I'm looking forward to the day. I hope you create momentum today, guys. But remember, take steps. Don't try and go to Z when you're at A. Where's step B? Where's step C? Where's step D? Take those steps and focus on your journey. Tunnel vision. Block out all the noise. Lower the pressure and noise. Lower the stress. And focus on what you're doing. No one else. Have an amazing day, guys. And I will catch you very soon.